Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Forest at Duke Trivia. I am again your host, Megan Rodriguez with the Department of Resident Life. Thank you for joining us. Just a reminder, this will have 21 questions this time, so go ahead and grab your pencil or pen and a piece of paper, and we'll get started with the questions. After we go through each question, which will have multiple choice answers that you can choose from, we will then go back through the questions and I will highlight the correct answer and try to give you a little extra tidbits of information that might be fun. Again, this is just for fun. We're not going to be collecting these, but you're welcome to score yourself if you want to see how many you got right. We hope you have a great time, and let's get started. All right, question number 1. Where in the world is this? And I'm talking about the picture on the page. Is it A, Japan, B, the US, C, Australia, or D, Germany? But just to illustrate the picture, it's a picture of a very large river with a huge waterfall and a bridge going across it. Question number 2, name this plant. Just to describe the picture, it is a field with flowers in it. These flowers are red and kind of look like a fan in a way, but they're like a very bright, deep red color. And the options for the answer is A, narcissus, B, delphinium, C, tulip, or D, poppy. Question number 3, who is credited with making the first American flag? Was it A, Martha Washington, B, Dolly Madison, C, Betsy Ross, or D, Abigail Adams? Question number 4, which U.S. school has the largest capacity football stadium? Is it A, Louisiana State University, called the Tiger Stadium? Is it B, Ohio State, which is called the Ohio Stadium? Is it C, Alabama, called the Bryant-Denny Stadium? Or is it D, Michigan, called the Michigan Stadium? Question number 5, where in the world is this? The picture is of a castle-looking structure on an island. Is the answer A, Florida, B, Denmark, C, Germany, or D, Austria? Question number 6, name this plant. The picture that we're showing is of a grouping of flowers that are purple, that have 5 petals and a yellow center. Is the answer A, violet, B, a forget-me-not, C, a bluebell, or D, a camellia? Question number 7, who was a pioneering jazz singer and songwriter and lived from 1915 to 1959? Was it A, Bessie Smith, B, Billie Holiday, C, Sarah Vaughan, or D, Josephine Baker? Question number 8, in which state is Rice University? Is it A, Arkansas, B, Louisiana, C, Texas, or D, Alabama? Question number 9, name this drama radio show that ran from 1930 to 1955 about the adventures of a German Shepherd who has starred in 23 Hollywood movies. Is it A, Old Yeller, B, Lassie, C, Rin Tin Tin, or D, Comet? Question number 10. This show, which aired on NBC Radio for 10 years, was a quiz show with a twist. Instead of members of the public answering questions, people would send in questions for a panel of experts to tackle. The moderator was Clifton Fadiman. Was the show called A, You Bet Your Life, B, Information Please, C, It Pays to Be Ignorant, or D, 20 Questions? Question number 11, where in the world is this? And the picture we're showing is of a mountaintop with some ancient sort of ruined structures on it in a tiered building approach. Is this A, in Mexico, B, in Peru, C, in Guatemala, or D, in Brazil? Question number 12, name that plant. And the picture we're showing is of a tree with white blooms on it. Is it A, a Bradford pear, B, a cherry tree, C, a dogwood, or D, a lilac? Question number 13. Who was an aviation pioneer living from 1897 to 1937? Was it A, Amelia Earhart, B, Emma Churchill, C, Martha Ray Jones, or D, Penny Thompson? Question number 14. In which state is Rutgers University? Is it in A, New York, B, New Jersey, C, Pennsylvania, or D, Virginia? Question number 15. Before Lucille Ball became a big TV star in the 1950s with the show I Love Lucy, she had a successful radio show. However, that show went by a different name. What was the name of Lucy's radio show? Was it A, My Favorite Husband, B, The Adventures of Lucy, C, Lucy's Trouble, or D, April Fools? Question number 16, where in the world is this? And the picture we're showing is of a bridge with two large pillars holding up parts of the bridge over a large river. Is the answer A, Canada, B, Denmark, C, China, or D, the United Kingdom? Question number 17, name that plant. And the plant we're showing is of a grouping of flowers that have sort of pointy petals. They're white, a little bit fuzzy looking, and have a yellow center. Is it A, a daffodil, B, an edelweiss, C, a petunia, or D, a narcissus? Question number 18. Who was the first woman to receive an MD, or a Doctor of Medicine, degree in the US? Was it A, Rebecca Lee Crumpler, B, Elizabeth Blackwell, C, Michael Quinn, or D, Mary Edwards Walker? Question number 19. This fictional superhero was a favorite source of old-time radio shows. Most of these superhero characters originated in comic strips and then were transferred to the radio. However, there was at least one exception. Which masked crime-fighting hero debuted on the radio rather than in the comics? Was it A, Batman, B, Flash Gordon, C, Buck Rogers, or D, the Green Hornet? Question number 20. Where in the world is this? And this picture is of a mountain range with snow on the top. Is it A, Alaska, B, Iceland, C, Switzerland, or D, Canada? Alrighty, and now we are to our answer section. So question number 1 was, where in the world is this picture? The answer was B, the USA. This is a picture of the Niagara Falls International Rainbow Bridge, commonly known as the Rainbow Bridge. It is an arch bridge across the Niagara River Gorge. It connects the cities of Niagara Falls, New York in the United States, and Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Question number 2, name that plant. The answer was D, poppy. One species of poppy is the source of the narcotic drug opium, which contains powerful medicinal alkaloids such as morphine and has been used since ancient times as an analgesic and narcotic medicinal and recreational drug. Try to say that 3 times. And do you remember the deadly poppies in The Wizard of Oz in the field? Question number 3 was, who is credited with making the first American flag? The answer was C, Betsy Ross. On January 1st, 1952, the U.S. Post Office issued a commemorative postage stamp, which we're showing on the screen, to honor the 200th anniversary of her birth. It shows her presenting the new 13-striped, 13-starred flag to George Washington, with Robert Morris and George Ross present. Question number 4 was, which U.S. school has the largest capacity football stadium? And the answer was D, Michigan. And the stadium is called Michigan Stadium. Also called the Big House, it has a capacity of 107,601 people. Question number 5 was, where in the world is this? And the answer was C, Germany. The picture is of the Schwerin Castle, located in the city of Schwerin, Germany. It's situated on an island in the city's main lake. Question number 6 was, name that plant, and the answer was A, violet. Violet happens to be the Illinois state flower as well. Question number 7 was, who was a pioneering jazz singer and songwriter and lived from 1915 to 1959? The answer was B, Billie Holiday. The Billie Holiday stamp, which we're showing on the screen, was issued September 17, 1994. Billie Holiday is one of the most famous and influential jazz singers of the 30s and 40s. Holiday is most well known for her incredible control over the unique sound of her voice. Question number 8 was, in which state is Rice University? And the answer was C, Texas. William Marsh Rice University, commonly known as Rice University, is a private research university in Houston, Texas. Rice competes in 14 NCAA Division I varsity sports and is a part of Conference USA, often competing with its crosstown rival, the University of Houston. Question number 9 was, name this drama radio show from 1930 to 1955 about the adventures of a German Shepherd who has starred in 23 holiday movies. And the answer was C, Rin Tin Tin. Between 1930 and 1955, Rin Tin Tin was cast in 3 different radio series, beginning April 1930 with The Wonder Dog. In September 1930, the title changed from The Wonder Dog to Rin Tin Tin. The final radio series was broadcast on Mutual from January to December of 1955, a 30-minute program heard Sunday evenings. The series featured Rin Tin Tin's adventures with the 101st Cavalry in the same manner as the concurrent TV show, The Adventures of Rin Tin Tin. Question number 10. This show, which aired on NBC Radio for 10 years, was a quiz show with a twist. Instead of members of the public answering questions, people would send in questions for a panel of experts to tackle. And the moderator was Clifton Fadiman, who we're showing right here. The answer was B, information please. So the program was so popular that from 1939 to 1943, excerpts of 18 radio broadcasts were filmed and released by RKO Pictures as a series of theatrical shorts. 2 card games based on the series were also released, and as was a 1939 tie-in quiz book from Simon & Schuster. Question number 11 was, where in the world is this? And the answer is B, Peru. This is a picture of Machu Picchu in Peru in the year 1912. Machu Picchu is a 15th century Inca citadel located in the eastern Cordillera of southern Peru on a 2,430 meter mountain ridge. And I actually was lucky enough to be able to visit Machu Picchu a few years ago, and it is absolutely stunning. Question 12 was, name that plant, and the answer was A, the Bradford pear. Question number 13 was, who is an aviation pioneer living from 1897 to 1937? The answer was A, Amelia Earhart. Earhart was the first female aviator to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. She set many other records, wrote best-selling books about her flying experiences, and was instrumental in the formation of the 99s, an organization for female pilots. Question 14 was, in which state is Rutgers University? The answer was B, New Jersey. Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, commonly referred to as Rutgers University, or RU, is an American public research university in New Jersey. It is the largest institution of higher education in New Jersey. Question number 15 was, before Lucille Ball became a big star, TV star in the 1950s with I Love Lucy, she had a successful radio show. However, that show went by a different name. What was the name of Lucy's radio show? And the answer was A, My Favorite Husband. Question number 16 was, where in the world is this? And the answer is D, United Kingdom. So the picture is of the Tower Bridge. And this is a bridge that is a combined bascule and suspension bridge in London, built between 1886 and 1894. The bridge crosses the River Thames close to the Tower of London and has become an iconic symbol of London. As a result, it is sometimes confused with the London Bridge, which is about a half-mile upstream. Question number 17 was, name that plant, and the answer was B, Edelweiss. And I thought it was really interesting that this plant has fur on its petals. Question number 18, who was the first woman to receive an MD degree in the US? And the answer is B, Elizabeth Blackwell. Blackwell played an important role in both the United States and the United Kingdom as a social awareness and moral reformer, and pioneered in promoting education for women in medicine. Her contributions remain celebrated with the Elizabeth Blackwell Medal, awarded annually to a woman who has made significant contribution to the promotion of women in medicine. Question number 19 is, the fictional superhero was a favorite source of old-time radio shows. Most of these superhero characters originated in comic strips and then were transferred to the radio. However, there was at least one exception. Which masked crime-fighting superhero debuted on the radio rather than in the comics? And the answer is D, the Green Hornet. The series The Green Hornet originated in January 31st, 1936 on WXYZ, the same local Detroit station that originated its companion shows The Lone Ranger and Challenge of the Yukon. Distinguished by its use of classical music for themes and for bridges between scenes, The Green Hornet was one of radio's best known and most distinctive juvenile adventure shows. Question number 20, our final question, was where in the world is this? And the answer was C, Switzerland. The Swiss Alps cover 60% of Switzerland's total surface area, making it one of the most alpine countries. So we hope you enjoyed this second trivia challenge, and please let us know if you have any comments or suggestions for making it better. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you had a great time. Hope to see you soon.